This is Feng Shui Double Y, Part 5 of Lion King 3, Ideas, and Comparisons to Lion King 2, and the original Lion King, really. I apologize that you guys may be a bit bored. It's probably been about 50 minutes, maybe close to an hour that you may have been watching this, if you have from the beginning, when I started this discussion, or this speech and talk, but I have to get these things out of the open. Where I left off, I finished up the genetics talk, like how Kobe Beatang and Nuka can look the way they do, and then when you only have Zira as the proof, and then when you add a character that I did named Ramani as her father, and and basically how genetics work, a little brief explanation. What I'm going to talk about now are those 20 questions that I put on the document on my DeviantArt that talks about, like, my plan. That talks about mostly my plan for the movie, filling in holes and questions somebody might have, like just common questions I would assume they would have. And I'm just gonna pull this up here. I pulled up the document. The internet's doing something a bit retarded. I don't know why. I just hope it's not going too slow. Hold on, let me I'm sorry, this is gonna take a while. Okay, so I'm on the page. It's going a bit slow for some reason. It's I don't know if it has to do with the fact that I'm running a video right now, but alright, so I'm going into the gallery. And I'm pulling up the thing. I'm sorry this is taking a while. I'm wasting time on the video. Just trying to explain that, I'm actually trying to pull the document. And I called this, like I said in the previous video, I called this document TOK3 hole filling, back when I wrote it. Alright, so, and the way I describe what I want to do is I want to direct and write a second sequel to The Lion King that must suck, because like I said, Memorable was TLK2 but had problems. Now let's, you can go to my DeviantArt, which again is Lost Pockets Parasite, and actually read this document. But I'm just gonna explain it now if you don't want to read anything. Okay, so these are the questions that somebody might be asking, like for the future, like after TLK2, or TLK is obviously the Lion King. So what the first question maybe is Nuka really dead? And as I explained before, no, I don't think I wouldn't say so. I'm not gonna make it like that because we know people in fiction you can survive crazy stuff, even if it looks like they did die. Even if you saw something that looked like a death, it couldn't be true. It could end up not being a death. Like the Joker, he supposedly died a bunch of times and he ended up being alive. And here's a perfect example of actually seeing something that would kill somebody, but turns out they lived. And it's because it's fiction. In One Piece, the manga and anime One Piece, the first thing that happened is Kosa got shot 5 times through the chest, but survived. And you all know that even one shot to that area, to a certain area could kill somebody. But one of the radical ones was a guy named Wiper from the Skypiea arc of the series. He was so durable that he could use a technique that would kill you 3 times, and the worst and it struck by lightning a bunch of times by the main antagonist who had a lightning power. Some of you know the specifics because many of you are One Piece fans. And the worst damage he did was that he broke all his bones. That's he just fractured and broke all his bones. That's the worst that basically happened. And he recovered like a bit quickly. So in fiction, they survive crazy stuff. We saw Nuka get crushed by logs, and somebody else kind of already had a similar idea, but that was after I did mine, and we agreed it was sheer coincidence. But basically, the best injury I'm going to give him is like he gets a few broken ribs, and he lost consciousness because of the trauma of the blow. Kind of like how Stewie had a lifeguard tower fall on him in the Family Guy thing, if any of you are familiar. And then question 2, what about Zira? Fell into a rampaging river, blacked out, washed up on the surface, and you know the rest. Question 3, Kobu's scar. You gonna make it stay? No, that's a dumbass cliche. Unintentional rhyme. but it is. It's stupid. It's just stupid. There was no point. His mom hit him. Big deal. Like that wasn't even a symbol. So basically, I assume like Rafiki gives him treatment because you know how much of a shaman that guy is, and a bit crazy if you ask me. And the scar will heal, but I want to do something to where a fraction of it can't be healed, and it'll look like basically a B shape on his face, a tiny V on his under area. Excuse me. Of his on his eye right here. Question 4: Will Vitani become the new Zero? No, I'm not gonna make it to that. I'm gonna make it to where it flashed back to where she tried to leave the Crylands, but Kovu convinced her to stay, basically. But trust me, it's not that simple. It is not gonna be that simple. This may be a PG film intended for like older kids and maybe some adults, because little kids aren't gonna get a lot of stuff even in a PG film. So, but it's not that big. That's not simple. And then, well, what about Nuka? Is he gonna be a villain? Nope. Nah. Like I explained before, some people like fans in Lion King, true fans of that character. He's not. We could already tell he wasn't truly evil. So the way I see it is basically when he breaks free from the logs, he'll become very resentful towards his little brother. He'll just be conquered by rage, and then eventually, like he's like, oh, I was like, I really love these guys. What am I doing? Like he's just gonna have an epiphany of sorts. His like happy memories are gonna flood through. It's like he'll realize he has to, he would spend a little bit of time looking for them, but then he makes it to the Pride Lands, and well, guess what happens next? He comes back and everything. So question 6, with all that, who's going to be the antagonist? Okay, so here's what I'm doing. A different kind of antagonist. He's not going to be a lion. He's going to be a leader of a group that will try to exterminate all lions. It's weird, but like they already did that in a PG film before with Master Shen in Kung Fu Panda 2 where he committed genocide against pandas, so I guess that would be acceptable. So it's where the leader basically prejudiced against lions, but for some reason a bit indifferent to what his goals. I'm trying to be brief. Like, question A was, can you elaborate? It's like I need to be as brief as I can. Read the script when I upload it on my DeviantArt if you want to know the details. But question 7 was, so that's all? And no. Like I said before, the 6 main protagonists, I made it to where they're going a bit of a journey of self-discovery. Something called dream trails that Rafiki had the Great Kings initiate. It's like a conscious dream of sort, and they'll be guided through as they because one of the main focuses of the movie is fault, because all 6 of the characters are like at fault in a way. Question 9, like I answered before, huge time skips. No, overused plot device by now, so no. It'll happen over the course of many weeks, maybe a month or 2. And question 10 and 11, Royale 6, the 6 lions. 10 and 11 are like, what do you mean by 6 protagonists, and will they have a title since they're technically a group? And how they're all royal. And then question 13 was, sounds too complicated for a PG movie, and it's like, I'm going to do my best to make sure that's not the case, because it kind of isn't already. And it's like, what about the music and the songs that we would love to have? And that's question 14, and I can write lyrics, but only time will tell on that. And then question 15, will there be a death? Not of extreme importance, but maybe 1 or 2. And then question 16, so will Zira's children hate her? No, because we know it's not that simple. What I wrote was on here was you don't hate your own parent, but what I meant by that is that even if people like feel like they resent them and feel like they do hate them, you know how people like some people are like, I'm better than you, and that's it's like I'm gonna be better, I'm not gonna be like them, that kind of a thing. But like a lot of stuff will be revealed, and you'll pretty much learn that Zero wasn't that evil. Question 18. Simba felt a lot like a bad guy in the second film. Will he look like that in here? Like, what you would assume he'd be antagonistic in this one. Well, everybody's gonna look bad and good in one way or another. You're gonna just see their faults. Everybody's got faults. And question 19. 19 and well, question 20 is stop right there. That's as much as I can answer. I don't want to spoil it all. But technically, the last question is like, what are the faults? Like, in the next video, I'm going to explain the faults that I gave these characters, and like why I did. So this is Feng Shui Double Y, over and out.